Smack shot a motherfucker on it though. I'm saying what the letter C next to the letter B, cause y'all always calling me King Khan. Who the fuck is Khan? Goof ass nigga.
Everybody jumped on Von that day. Von got back to old block to his mama crib.
Young. Mama pushed me up the porch and told me to go ask some fluffy.
And it was up since that.
That one of Von's close friends was trying to get with her.
Who cares if somebody tried to hit you? Von was doing the same thing to everybody else. He would hit people, girls, when they was locked up. What's the difference? That's even crazier, because the nigga got to come home. These are killers. They will kill you. Is it so much the more that they lay down with your woman? They will kill you, who cares? Well, Von's sitting there right now, it said that he ain't greater or better than nobody, but he just like all men because he dead.
Sergeant Williamson, October 16, 1733.
This is your third time recording, Miss Williams.
State your name and ID number.
King Vaughn.
What's your ID number?
2014 0608 061. They know you be threatening people.
Tell me what happened on 3B.
You came and got me out my CEO.
That's it?
You made me pack my stuff. And you punched me when I was walking out.
Would you like to press charges?
Oh, you?
Would you like to press charges on the person you were fighting?
You the only one that hit me. Life ain't shit without females. I wouldn't even be buying this shit. All this shit for girls and shit.
Put on all this designer shit, all this jewelry to look nice, you know what I'm saying? For the bitches.
3, 2, 1, action. Go ahead, foul hard.
You want to I'm your pig?
Yeah, that was it.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
He was that, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Von gave me a lot of passes. He could have killed me a couple times.
I was happy as hell when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day.
I was relieved for the community, man, because he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Something was wrong with him. That's not human, man. You're not regular, man. He was the devil, man.
How are you rich and you're robbing people? You robbing producers. You robbing rappers. You got money.
So from what I hear, that documentary proves everything to be true. He is a serial killer, and he was a demon in human form.
Was this loyalty, or was it betrayal? That's the question that exploded across social media when new footage surfaced of King Von's mother standing near people the internet labeled as gangster disciples. Within hours, TikTok edits were everywhere. Instagram comment sections were on fire, threads stacked up with thousands of replies, and the verdict from many fans was immediate. How could she? But what most people reacting don't understand is this wasn't just about a club video. It was about a war that started before drill music even existed, and to understand why that footage hit so hard, you have to understand who King Von really was. King Von wasn't just a rapper who claimed a block, he was O-Block to the core. Parkway Gardens on 64th and King Drive wasn't just an address. It was identity, it was history, it was reputation. O-Block had already been made famous by Chief Keef and later amplified by Lil Durk, but King Von brought something different. He brought storytelling. Crazy Story didn't just chart, it pulled listeners into a world most would never see firsthand. And woven through that world was one constant thread: loyalty to the Black Disciples. That loyalty wasn't symbolic, it was personal. King Von's name was tied to a rivalry that stretches back decades, the conflict between the Black Disciples and the Gangster Disciples. And that war didn't start on wax. It started in the 1960s. Chicago's South Side was collapsing economically. Jobs vanished, housing discrimination tightened, young black men formed neighborhood crews for protection. Out of that environment rose David Barksdale, known as King David, and the Disciples. Around the same time, Larry Hoover formed the Supreme Gangsters, who would later become the Gangster Disciples. At one point, the two groups merged. They were united, but after Barksdale's death in 1974, that fragile alliance shattered. What followed wasn't a disagreement, it was a civil war. Through the crack era of the 80s and 90s, through housing project demolitions, through federal indictments, BD and GD factions battled for territory, money, and pride. And by the time drill music arrived, that war had a soundtrack. In the 2010s, rappers didn't just represent neighborhoods, they represented sides. King Von's rise coincided with escalating tension between O-Block and GD-affiliated sets like STL. His lyrical back and forth with FBG Duck wasn't just rap beef, it mirrored real street hostility. When Lil Duck dropped Dead Bees in 2020, mocking fallen BD members, it shook Chicago. Weeks later, Lil Duck was killed in broad daylight. In 2024, multiple O-Block affiliates were convicted on federal racketeering charges tied to that murder. 3 months after Duck's death, Von himself was gone. Outside an Atlanta nightclub, an altercation escalated involving Quando Rondo's crew. Gunfire erupted. Von was shot. The man who pulled the trigger, Timothy Leaks, later had charges dropped under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. Just like that, one of drill's biggest voices was silenced at 26. And the war didn't end, it just evolved. Now fast forward to 2026. Footage surfaces of King Von's mother at a club. She's dressed confidently, smiling, dancing, living. Standing nearby, men social media users claim are GD affiliated. That's it, that's the clip. But online, it became something much bigger. Because for many fans, King Von wasn't just an artist, he was a symbol of BD loyalty. So when they saw his mother in proximity to alleged rivals, they treated it like a violation of a code. But here's the uncomfortable question. Did she ever sign up for that code? Tasha Bennett didn't become public by choice. She became public because her son became famous, and then because her son died. She raised King Von in Chicago. She watched his father get killed when Von was 11. She saw him in and out of jail. She saw him beat cases. She saw him sign deals. And then she got a phone call no parent ever recovers from. That context matters. Because while fans debate loyalty in comment sections, she lives with loss. And loss doesn't follow gang politics. But that wasn't the only reason this exploded. There was another layer: gender. From the moment Von passed, his mother's appearance and behavior were scrutinized online. If she dressed young, people talked. If she went out, people talked. If she smiled, people talked. Now add alleged GD proximity to that mix. The internet lit up. Some called her disrespectful. Others said, she's in her 50s, let her live. And that divide reveals something deeper about how we treat grief in hip-hop culture. We expect mothers of fallen rappers to freeze in time, to exist as permanent memorials, to mourn publicly, quietly, and endlessly, to never laugh too loud, never dress too bold, never step outside the shadow of tragedy, but life doesn't stop, even when the world thinks it should. Meanwhile, the larger machine keeps moving. Lil Durk remains entangled in serious legal trouble tied to alleged retaliation plots connected to the broader fallout from King Von's death. Civil lawsuits connected to FBG Duck's killing are still unfolding in court. Interviews continue to resurface, new indictments make headlines. Old clips trend again. The cycle hasn't slowed since 2020. It just keeps reloading. And against all that chaos, a mother went to a club. That contrast is what made it viral. Not just who she was standing near, but the timing, the symbolism, the optics. Because it forces a question nobody wants to answer. Where does the war end? And who is allowed to step outside of it? The truth is, fans often consume drill culture like it's a long-running Netflix series. They track alliances, they memorize who's BD, who's GD, they debate loyalty like it's a scoreboard. Every diss, every lyric, every Instagram post becomes another episode. And when something unexpected happens, they react like writers just ruined the plot. But for families, this isn't scripted entertainment. It's real life. It's grief that doesn't log off. It's funerals, courtrooms, birthdays with an empty chair at the table, anniversaries that don't feel like dates on a calendar. They feel like wounds reopening. It's waking up to headlines about your child years after they're gone. It's hearing their name trend again and bracing yourself for whatever narrative is about to follow. It's living with a loss that doesn't trend for 48 hours and disappear. It lingers. And maybe, just maybe, expecting a mother to carry generational gang allegiance forever says more about the audience than it does about her. The footage didn't prove betrayal. It exposed expectations. Expectations that loyalty must extend beyond death. Expectations that grief must look quiet, modest, and permanent. Expectations that a woman connected to a street legend must permanently live by street rules she didn't create. But King Von's family once asked fans to honor him by playing his music and keeping his legacy alive. Not by policing his mother's social circle, not by turning her into a symbol in a conflict that predates his rap career. Because the truth is, the tension between the Black disciples and the gangster disciples didn't begin with drill music. It didn't begin with Vaughn, and it won't end with one viral clip. So now the real question isn't whether she stood near alleged GD members. It's this: are we watching loyalty, or are we watching projection? Are people defending a code, or defending an image they built in their own heads? Because sometimes what goes viral isn't about what actually happened, it's about what people need it to represent. And maybe the only people who truly deserve peace are the ones still here trying to survive it. The mothers, the siblings, the children growing up in the aftermath. So what do you think? What's going on? Was this disrespect? Or is it finally time to separate street politics from personal healing? Drop your thoughts below. I genuinely want to hear where you stand on this, because conversations like this aren't black and white. They're layered, emotional, and complicated. And if you want more deep dives that go beyond the headlines and break down what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because in hip-hop, the real story is never just what goes viral. It's what that viral moment reveals about the culture and about us. It's what that viral moment reveals. It reveals how fans think. It reveals how culture moves. And sometimes, it reveals uncomfortable truths about the expectations we place on people who are already carrying unimaginable loss. We'll continue covering the updates surrounding King Von's legacy, the ongoing ripple effects tied to Lil Durk, and the broader impact of the decades-long tension between the Black disciples and the gangster disciples. Without the noise, without the bias, just real context. So if you appreciate content that goes deeper than surface-level drama, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the conversation. This isn't just about one clip, it's about the culture. And we're just getting started.